Whee! Phew! Crichton?
Yes, sir?
What's this?
Are you inquiring about the airlock, sir?
No, you galvanized gimboid. I'm inquiring about the completely normal and in no way noteworthy tin of mushy peas floating in deep space outside the airlock.
Oh, yes, sir, that's Pegrin.
Pegrin?
Yes, sir, he is the final remaining aluminum can containing luminous green mushed garden peas that we had on board.
Well, Crichton, I'm right plumb glad you shared that trivia with me, but it doesn't exactly hit the G-spot of my primary question, which is, what is it doing outside the ship?
That tin of mushy peas in fact reached his use-by date 3 weeks last Thursday, sir. However, that day I faced a terribly awkward dilemma, for neither Mr. Lister nor the cat were in the sense for any tasteless green slop, and I could find no meal that day which would have benefited from such company. Therefore, I decided rather than to let perhaps the universe's last can of starchy green seed soup go to waste, I would prolong his lifespan by storing him outside the ship, in space, in a vacuum. As I'm sure you know, sir, space is a vacuum, and there is no conceivable way for those bacteria that would otherwise rot the perishables to thrive in a vacuum.
Yes, Crichton, I was aware of that.
I was merely computing my logic gate circuits, sir.
No, Crichton, I applaud the effort. However, don't you think there was a more approachable solution? There's another teensy factor in food going bad. Time. Wouldn't it have been better to store our soaked peas in a state where time does not exist? In a stasis field, perhaps? Why didn't you just bang it in a stasis pod on K-Deck, plot in the code and leave it to non-existent until Lister felt like having a spoonful or two of fart elixir with his next biryani?
The stasis pods are already engaged, each one stacked with heat-sealed cartons of the curries I have made with the Christmas leftovers.
Crichton, we had Lister over for last Christmas dinner. With him around, there's barely enough left for us at Christmas. Let alone the morning after when we're crawling the floors, heads full of eggnog and salmonella. Are you sure all the pods are occupied?
That's the thing. I've been making curries with leftovers long before last Christmas. K-Deck is a veritable goldmine of curry from years of Yuletide fervor, just waiting to be sampled. It's all part of research I'm conducting, sir. It is my firm belief that a turkey stuffing, cranberry sauce, and sprout vindaloo can be left to age and mature and improve in the same manner as, say, a fine burgundy. I had considered cracking open a vintage this evening for supper, if you'd care to take part in my experiment.
Thanks all the same, Crichton, my lad. But I think Lister, as the resident curry connoisseur, should be left to tackle this. After all, what do I know about curries? I wouldn't know a good aloo gobi from a bad booner.
Quite right, sir. Which would you recommend?
Oh, perhaps the 75, Crichton. That was a good Christmas. We spent into the wee hours of the morning playing charades, trying to guess the cat's word before anyone bothered to ask if it was mime.
God blimey, who's been stinking out my stasis booth? It smells like the gasset of a set of ever long johns.
Never mind that, Ollie. Crichton here needs your help retrieving a tin of mushy peas.
Pegrin.
Pegrin?
Exactly. Lister will need something to wash down Crichton's curry.